Hello and welcome. My name is Odin, and this is the first video for the wireframing course. In this video and the videos after, we'll go over the essential components and how to style in the page builder to create a wireframe and an initial setup for your applications with the BettyBlocks platform. Good luck. So, the first thing you see when you open up your application is your BettyBlocks dashboard, which has some nifty features and holds some pretty decent information to get you going. However, we don't need to stay here for long because the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to our pages overview. You can go to your pages overview in two steps. You can click on the pages button to the left, which opens up the quick menu to go to your pages. And it also has the button, the hamburger button for your pages overview. You can click on this button and it will give you your entire pages overview. And as you can see, there's nothing there yet because we are going to create some wireframes. And these wireframes will be used to, well, give us a general idea of what we are going to be making throughout this project management application. You can also use this just as a regular course on your own to get started with wireframing and just click around in the page builder, sketch some of your ideas, bring it to life, and well, maybe you can create some really cool applications with it. So the moment you are here at in your pages overview, where there are two options to create your first page, or actually multiple options. You got your create your first page button in the middle, in the right top, and if you want to go for the quick page create, you can click on the quick page overview, and then there's this little plus in the top left. You can click on the plus and you'll go to the create a page overview. And this has many nifty options, such as, well, choosing page templates. And page templates give you multiple options with pre-built configurations so that you don't have to do anything. In this case, you can choose a page that already has an app bar, a page with a login form even, or a page that gives you a column layout configurator, which helps you design your page. However, we're going to start from scratch because we need to tackle as much as possible. So click on create a blank page and give it a name. The first page that we will be creating in this session is the home page. So I'll also call it home. Click on create a page and the page will be created. The first things first. We've opened up the home page right now and we're going to start building a wireframe. And well, a wireframe is something that you can draw it out. So you can pick up a pen and paper and just draw it the way you want your website to look. You can even find some online tools. So for example, you can just grab paint and sort of make a sketch of what you think your website should look like. However, this might not always look as nice as you want it to. And well, there are better options. And the best thing is, of course, if you can create a wireframe, which is something you can immediately use already. So we're going to start building this setup, this layout for our website within the page builder with some of the components that we're going to use in the end as well. So the first thing first, what I want to have in my website is I want a menu bar at the top. Beneath that, I want a nice image that makes people feel like, whoa, that's a really cool website with a nice menu bar and an image and some welcome text beneath that. So the people will be like, yeah, this dude knows a lot about styling. I don't, but we'll make them think that. And beneath that, I want three different cards, navigational points that people can go to. So they can look at my website and be like, oh, this is my option to go to projects. Oh, this is the button that I need to click to go to tasks. So let's build that. The first thing we need is a menu bar. You can find the menu bar between all the components on your left-hand side in one of the component groups. Well, luckily it's quite close. It's the navigation component group. In here you find the navigation bar and you can drag this onto your page. This is the first item that we will have for the wireframe. Beneath that, I'd like to show an image. So, well, instead of having to draw something by hand, I can just go to the contents group and, well, grab a media component and drag it onto the page. However, before we can drag certain components onto the page, we need to define what kind of layout structure we want to use. as I said in the theory video, an item that you place on your page normally needs to be a layout item, something that has been set to be a layout item, such as the menu bar, the app bar, or you need to define what kind of layout it can use. In this case, I'm going to use a single column item because I want to show my image in the entire width of the page. If I were to use a 2-column item, I'd have to show it over 2 parts of the page, and that's something I don't want to. So let me delete this row. So before we continue, we grab the media item and we drag it into the column. Well, luckily I already have a media item with me. If you want to show an image in your website, click on the media item or click on an item and just copy and paste the source of the image, so the image URL, into the source of the media item. I can paste it, and here we go. We got an item. Beneath that, I'd like to show some welcome text, so that when you enter my website for the first time, you know that you're welcome. For this, I'll drag a column onto the page, and in there, I'll drag some text, a text component. This text component is something that we can fill in ourselves. So we can click on the text component, and in there is a content option. This content option, we can fill it in and say, hello user, welcome to my website. Website, there we go. And well, this is the first bit of styling that I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about styling and options a lot more. But well, as you can see, we've got the menu bar, we've got an image, and we've got some text. Well, I'd like to show the text in the middle of the page. And to do that, we have some options for the text component. You've got alignment. You can align the text on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, but I want to show it in the center. So after making a user feel really welcome to my website, I want to make some pointers so that the user knows where he or she can go to. And we're going to do this by creating some custom cards. For this, I'm going to drag the 3-column option onto my page, and I'm going to fill it up. I want to show a title, an image, some text, and a button that redirects the user to the specific page. And we can simply do this by dragging in a title, a media component, some text beneath that, and a button. So right now I can fill in all this data. So I can say this card will go to the project page. We can put in the URL for an image that we want to show when people go to the project page. So for this, I've got an image over here. The content will be something saying, this goes to my project page. And then we have a button that can navigate to the project page once we have created it. So let's say view, because we want to view the project page. And well, right now I've created this setup for what I want my card to look like. We can recreate this in the columns next to it. However, what we can also do is we can copy these cards. So what we can do is we can select the parent item, and you can select the parent item by clicking on an item in your page and clicking on the arrow in the options tab. This options tab, it says when you hover over it, select parent component. This is the component that it holds. So as you can see, this column holds all this data inside of it. And we can copy this column. So if I click on the duplicate button, as you can see, then it copies these cards for me. Do watch out, because this means that the first columns that have been created for me will be pushed to the row beneath it. So we have to delete this. So delete this one and the other one. And now we have 3 cards that hold this data. And this is basically the first setup for our page. We need to make it look a little bit better, but we're going to do that later on. The last thing I want to show you for the first page is, we can see it in the page builder, but what can we precisely do to, well, look at it live? Well, that's very easy, luckily. There's the play button in the top left. This is the compile button. And a compile button basically builds your page so that it is ready for a live web view. So if we click on this button, then there you go. This is what your page will look like right now if it were to be live. So check out your page and see how it looks in a live view.